Hey everybody, we finally got the table put back together. We've got just one of our stepper motors hooked up right now on the Y-axis. We've been recalibrating it. We've got it pretty good. We've been really working on backlash, and as it turns out, we've got about 2 thousandths either way backlash in the Y, so I need to learn how to plug that into Mach 3 for compensation. Haven't never tried that yet. So it seems pretty consistent. We have been calibrating them. Let's see if you can see this or not. There's 1 inch forward. And 1 inch back. And it does that over and over and over and over and over again, so we're happy with that. The overall 4 thousandths, I hear 3 thousandths is standard, industry standard, so I'm not too scared about that as long as it doesn't get any worse. Like I said, I need to learn how to set up backlash compensation for this. Even though it's coming back to zero now, when it's working and doing its thing in a product, it'll have the resistance. It'll make that backlash more measurable. It won't show up on plasma or laser or 3D printer or water jet or anything that doesn't have any resistance. But router, milling, drilling, that's how that's working out. But so we got the Y-axis up here, we got it painted, we got everything all bolted up. Quite a few cap head screws in there. Really like the way this metallic paint shows up. We got a hole drilled in the bottom of the boom up here. You see that. To pull the wire in for the lights, we temporarily, I wasn't going to do this, but I went ahead and hooked these up. I figure I can leave them there. I'll put them on a switch by themselves and still pull another circuit in here to control the two 24 inches, or maybe 24 or 30 inches is about as long as I can go. So I gotta see what's available out there. The two 30-inch strips would get me all the way across, except for a few inches on either end, which wouldn't matter out there. But what I was saying before about how the location of the lights are in relationship to the gantry itself, it shadows. The lights are shadowed, so the whole purpose of the lights under there was to eliminate the work area, so you could do a little finer measuring, set up square pieces stock up to your work. Anyway, so we've got the one motor hooked up and calibrated. All the wiring's done except for pulling a circuit back through to feed this other light. Found it really easy. I blew a string through that hole earlier. I stuck the rag in the hole in the other end of the gantry and stuck a bunch of string up in the hole. And I've got this killer little blowgun. You guys have got to check it out. Anyways, it's just a little pistol grip type blowgun, and I blew it down a hole, and that string come flying out the other end. I was like, oh, that was a piece of cake. And there was already the other 2 wires were in it. I did the same thing with these. I came down here this end, shoved a bunch of string up in the hole, blew it through, tied onto my wires for the A motor, and this is going to be the Y home. So this will be coming up top here to a limit switch. We haven't messed with the limit switches too much yet. We've been using soft limits in the past. It was a disaster the first time I enabled the Y limit. I had hooked up the wrong wire, and I hit the reference home. I'm gonna tell you, I was scrambling to stop the access before it run out of track. I learned pretty quick that test your work before you put it in motion. Mislabeling wires. That was cute. So here we go. We've got it happening. It's floating. Sweet. I ran into quite an issue on this side over here. Found that this tube had a pretty good bow in it. So if you can see these 2 spots down here, let me go up underneath. And had to make a couple of pretty good hot spots right there to pull the bow out of the tubing. When I put it all together up here and would roll it down, it would be fine till it got right into this area, and it would get tight, and then it would free back up as it got down to the other end. I got some little pieces of angle iron, just temporary clamped at the ends right now for mechanical stops, because I haven't set any soft limits or anything yet. Like I said, I just started hooking up motors and stopped to hook up a light. A friend stopped by and twisted my arm, made me drink a beer. I needed a break. So 2 Coronas later, we're back in here dealing with Mach 3. It seems like it's all Greek to me again. It's like, stay away from it and you forget it. But I was sitting here thinking, well, how the heck do you get to calibrate your axis screen? And I'm looking all through the config and the confunction figs. Anyways, and I said, oh yeah, it's in settings. Why wouldn't it be? Sounds like a good place for it. But anyways, we're gonna hook up the x-axis on the other side of the table first. We're gonna leave this one unhooked until we verify direction over here. Nothing should have changed unless I backwardly wired a motor somewhere. And that's possible too. Golly, I've had this thing running now for about 3 hours, and that's just so cool. Doesn't have any heat. I've had this one plugged in. It's just sitting here. I have the gears away from the rail. I got it tightened up just a little bit, so that's how I've had it set since I started working on it. But we plugged it in. We haven't figured out what we're going to do to captivate this plug yet, but I'm seeing some kind of a little fixture I'm going to make to come off of here to hold this in place. I think that would be pretty cool. So that'll be another little project. We haven't cut this down for unknown reasons, laziness, whatever you want to talk about it. However you want to call it. But remember, this was little support for this thing. I was going to make this little double cut coming up here and make it all look pretty, a little double radius. And I wasn't going to do this at the top either, but the height was getting you know, it was going to be too tall otherwise, and I would have had to pull more rail and wire back this way to accommodate it. So right now, the way it is at the end of the track, it's perfect. And the only time it's going to see this far back on the rail is when it's being worked on, or when the table's being loaded. This will be one of my fixtures called load zone, or whatever you want to call it. So we just cut that, notched it, and bent it over. I probably should have scored it a little bit on this side. That was it's a pretty thick chunk of aluminum. It's about an 1/8 of an inch thick, so it was kind of hard to bend. So that was cool, but I had to beat it around a little bit to convince it how we wanted it to go. But we're really impressed with the way the Y-axis is traveling right now, and I just got a feeling since everything else is the same and built with the same standards that this was built, then I have no doubt that I can get that 2000s backlash as well. But we lost quite a few hours delving into the concept of what to do with this warp spot right here, because I knew it would cause an offset or cause some kind of an issue, maybe stalling or whatnot when it got in that area. So we put a string line on it, some gauge blocks, and we worked it out slowly but surely. So it's sweet. When the gears aren't, well, I don't have any, I got something in the way now, but on my previous video, I kind of had to push it pretty hard to get it rolling down the table, and that was one of the reasons why. It was the reason why, because as soon as it got going, it would get into a slow spot, and then it wouldn't have much energy to keep going from there. So we still have to do our light, and we're gonna. It's already 8 o'clock. It's Monday night. I'm pretty tired. We might calibrate one more motor tonight. If it goes easy like this one was, then we'll be good to go. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. Love your CNC, man. Do it. Get out there. Don't be scared. It's not too bad. If I can do it, you guys can do it. If you saw me, how old I am and how crippled up I am, you'd probably say, damn, if he can do it, I can do it better. And you know what? You probably can. Show me. Build it. Send us some videos. It's all in limiting yourself with what you can do. And I'm not a smart seller, trust me. A lot of trials and tribulations to get to this point, and we just hope everything keeps on progressing the way it is. We seem to have a lot of interest in what it can do, and there's a lot more that it can do besides plasma router. Like I said, sky's the limit. Enjoy it, do it, get out there. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you want updates, subscribe to my channel, and you'll get update reminders when they come out. So y'all have a great evening. Hope you had a great weekend. Back to the hellhole tomorrow. Love you guys. Later.